The house next door. Everyone in Willow Creek whispered about the house next door, but nobody watched it as closely as Kori. The place had been empty for over 20 years, standing crooked and stubborn in the wind like it refused to fall apart only out of spite. It was the only house on the street with no Christmas lights in winter, no porch decorations in summer, only brittle weeds, boarded windows, and a silence so heavy it felt alive. Still, every night at exactly 11:03 p.m., a dim yellow light flickered in the upstairs window. No one should have been in that house. Kori had lived beside the property for almost a year, long enough to pick up the neighborhood legends. Some said an old woman had died inside and never left. Others insisted the place was cursed, abandoned after a string of strange disappearances. There were even rumors that the house chose who it wanted to show itself to. Kori thought it was all nonsense until the footsteps started. The first night. It was a quiet Wednesday evening, just after midnight, when Kori stepped onto the back porch to take out the trash. The air was still, thick, the kind of silence where even the insects refused to chirp. Then came the creak. One slow, dragging footstep. Then another. They were coming from the other side of the rotting fence that separated Kori's yard from the haunted house. The footsteps moved methodically, as if someone was pacing, waiting. Kori's breath froze. No one lived there. No one had lived there in decades. By the time Kori convinced themselves to look over the fence, the footsteps had stopped. The yard next door looked empty, too empty, like even the weeds didn't dare grow too close to the house. Still, the next night, Kori listened harder. The window. The following evening, right at 11:03, the upstairs light flickered on. But this time, something stood behind the glass, a long, dark silhouette, still and tall. It didn't move. It didn't sway. It simply watched. Kori blinked. The figure disappeared. Kori tried to tell the neighbors, but they all reacted the same. A quick shudder, a warning glance, and a firm reminder to leave that house alone. No one ever looked directly at it. No one ever walked past its gate. Everyone acted like the house was a sleeping animal that might wake if spoken about too loudly. Kori wasn't scared yet. Not until the knocking began. 3 knocks. It happened at 2:16 a.m., 3 slow, deliberate knocks on Kori's back door. Knock. 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 Kori sat up in bed, heart pounding so hard it felt like it traveled with each knock. When Kori finally opened the door, no one was there. Just the cold night air and the moon casting a pale glow over the haunted house next door. But something was left behind. A single object sat on the porch, a dusty, cracked photograph. In the photo stood the rumored old woman, thin, silver-haired, eyes too hollow to be alive. Behind her was the same upstairs window, the faint glow of the same light that flickered every night. Kori turned the photo over. Scratched into the back, as if by something sharp and desperate, were the words, "She never lived alone." The whispering walls. From then on, the house felt closer. Some nights, Kori heard whispers drifting through the backyard, soft and urgent, as if someone was telling secrets through a wall only they could hear. Other nights, shadows moved behind the curtains of the abandoned house, even though no one had gone inside. Once, Kori saw the front door of the haunted house open slowly, on its own, before shutting again with a hollow thud. The next morning, the same photograph was found again on Kori's porch. Only this time, the old woman wasn't alone. A second figure stood beside her, now tall, faceless, black as spilled ink. And it was standing closer. The night everything changed. It happened after a powerful storm rolled through the neighborhood. Most of the street lost power, but the haunted house next door remained lit. At exactly 11:03 p.m., Kori looked out the window and froze. The upstairs light was glowing brighter than ever, almost white. The silhouette was there again, but this time, it moved. Slowly, deliberately. It stepped back from the window, then closer. Then it lifted an arm and pointed directly at Kori's house. Kori stumbled back, heart hammering. Then something else knocked, this time from inside Kori's hallway. 3 knocks. Behind the bedroom door. Kori didn't open it. Not that night. Not since. No. The house next door is still abandoned. Still silent. Still standing like it's holding its breath. And every night at 11:03 p.m., the light still flickers in the upstairs window. Sometimes a silhouette appears. Sometimes it doesn't. But Kori knows one thing. Whatever lives in that house now wants company. And it knows where to find some.